I'm gonna turn my gain down if
yo.
that's okay.
Yeah, yo. Yeah, there we go.
Fart crap shit heck.
Okay.
This is what happens when the Audacity starts, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
I'm just going to put this at the beginning of the show, by the way. It's literally going to be
Great.
the intro. It's just people going,
Okay.
yo.
Hey everyone, fart crap shit heck. Back with more stuff.
Hello, and welcome back to A Tale of Four Gangers. This is episode 2, and everyone's here. Oh my gosh, the excitement is powerful. I can feel it.
I went too hard.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
Okay, fine. Okay, we're all back on a level. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? I should probably do this in some sort of order because if everyone talks at once on a Zoom call, it's never going to work. So, Tay, you've been to Japan, so you can start.
I'm doing good. I haven't done a lot of productive work.
Yeah.
Surprise. Because I was in Japan.
Amazing.
So like while I wasn't doing this kind of miniature stuff, I was spending all my money on little guys like this.
Oh, cool.
It's a koi man.
What is that?
Well, he's
It's a sassy koi guy.
Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't seem very coy. He seems pretty forward.
Yeah, exactly. A very
proud, if anything.
Yeah.
It's called Koi Man's Temptation, and I bought him out of a machine for $1.
Wow.
The best dollar I've seen ever spent. That's for sure.
And I've got a bear in a G-string.
Well, that's beautiful. I love them.
So, like, maybe they'll
Make an appearance?
show up in my gang.
I hope so.
Which I'm sure won't upset anybody at all because, like, how many points do you think bear in a G-string would be? Like 30,000?
Well, that G-string is pretty magnetic, so I'm going to say a lot of points.
Yeah, well, I could make it magnetic. I've got the little magnets.
Oh, like, seriously, be nice.
But yeah, I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm alive. I'm here.
That's the main thing. Still on the cough syrup.
I'm ready to I've been working since I got back. So I have been. The thing is, it takes forever to scrape off all the mold lines.
Oh, I don't bother with that shit.
I always do because
I'm lazy.
my girls.
Yeah, I know. I'm
need to look slick.
They gotta look slick. Yeah, 100%.
They gotta. But that's me. That's what's happening.
That's cool. What about you, Stuart? How about you? I'm going clockwise around my screen, anti-clockwise around. Actually,
good. I didn't go to Japan. I went to Florida for 3 weeks though, which was pretty amazing. It was really hot though.
I can't believe you're back.
It's getting up to like 38 degrees, which I think is generally considered to be a hot temperature. And most people would agree. 38, hot. There's no kind of grey area involved there. Hot.
I think so.
My knees didn't sweat though. The back of the knees did. The front of my knees didn't, because I don't believe it's humanly possible to sweat from the front of the knee. That's just something. It's just something I believe. That's just something I believe.
Yeah,
it can happen.
Yeah,
it can happen.
Sounds like one of those conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
knee sweat, flat
sweat.
Earth. Nah.
Maybe it wasn't knee sweat. Maybe it was just other sweat that traveled.
That's
but
true.
all I'm saying is that, like, the humidity,
migratory moisture.
it was everywhere.
I can give you all kinds of excuses for why I basically have been not very productive, but it's mainly down to Florida. But I've got some things to show you.
Okay, well, that's exciting. You've also sent me some videos that I can be putting up.
I have.
We'll come to those in a minute.
Wow.
Well, that's
But they were for personal use, Hamilton.
Oh well, yeah. I went for share. I've already shared them with all my friends.
Speaking of bears in G-strings,
Yeah.
Oh, it got too real. And then Jordan, how have you been? How have you been this past month?
I've been very well, thank you, Hamilton. Yeah, but I've
locations.
No, not at all. Except for the exotic locations of the mind, where I've been exploring what might have happened in a Necromundan Abhuman revolution. So that's where I've been spending my time. But that means I've also not made maybe as much progress as I was hoping. But I do have a gang, though. I've assembled my gang for the most part.
I've seen pictures. I've seen.
Yeah, I've got some stuff to show.
You might be winning, Jordan.
Yeah, well, then we should definitely get these to the table today. I think let's play right now. That's the only way I'll win.
Uh-oh.
Well, but that's,
Oh wait,
I
no,
mean,
actually, I know you've made some progress, Hamilton. Actually, so
yeah.
let's not do that.
I'm
I
up for
take
this.
it
Let's
back.
do it. I'm down. This might be my only chance to win. If you said it, you played the gauntlet down. I'll take it up, 100%.
How have you been, Hamilton? What have you been up
Oh,
to?
what have I
Yeah.
been up to? I haven't been anywhere exotic bar the northern Wales, the amazing. I
Ooh.
went to some sort of Instagram waterfall. Supposedly it's all very Instagram. I don't know, but it was nice.
Ooh.
And then the English coast, and that is about as far as I've traveled. Oh, and 36 hours in France as well, but that doesn't count. And but yeah, I've actually made some. I don't know if it's progress or some sort of mental breakdown, but I've modeled some things that that I feel maybe I need to see someone about, but it's all good. I think it's all good. I've just
I'm
gone off on a
excited for this.
tangent. You saw my one character, and I then just got a theme, as I think some of you have like seen some of the stuff I've been doing, and if people follow my Instagram, they'd see it. But I then just went for it, and I've really had a lot of fun. Do you know what I mean? I've been really enjoying this. I must admit,
Yeah.
more than any other 40k thing I've ever done, or Warhammer thing. This has been the most, like, I've never kit bashed as much as this. I've normally been like, oh, I'll change a head, or I'll put a different thing here. But
Yeah, you're going crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But yeah, that's been me. But I was gonna ask then, so if no one's, I think the only other person then that has been here that's maybe played some Warhammer, as in like not anything outside of Necromunda. You've played some games, haven't you, Jordan? I think I've seen.
Yes, I've been playing some 6th edition Warhammer.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun. Just trying to get back into an earlier version of Warhammer, because I spent a lot of time playing 8 towards the end.
Okay.
And that's kind of been a preferred version for a little while.
Yeah.
Not because it's the best, but just because it was what I was playing at the time. But I wanted to get back into 6th because it's a very good edition and I enjoy it, and I've not spent enough time with it over the years.
Is that still the Hero Hammer era, 6th edition?
No, so it changed into a bit more of a balanced affair. Obviously, there's still you can still exploit stuff as with every Games Workshop game, really, but it was a lot more balanced and there's a bit more order to it. I'm now thinking, because I've been spending a bit of time with the 7th edition core rulebook for a bit of research for the project. And I'm kind of thinking, oh, actually, there's a couple of tweaks and changes in here that I do really like. So maybe I'm going to play 7th edition Warhammer, but with 6th edition armies books, like a super edgy.
You're just
I mean,
niche
more
now,
or less. Yeah,
this is the most niche you can get. Like,
that's what this is about, right? We're
to
just here to talk for an hour about editions of Warhammer and which rules we like the most, right? That's what everyone's into.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I also played.
Yeah,
I played some Dreadfleet as well, so I don't know if people will be familiar with that, but that was a naval game set in the old world of Warhammer. It was quite short-lived, came out and was a lot of buzz about it, and then sort of disappeared. That was fantastic fun. Just getting to get that out on the table. Played it at Warhammer World. It was the first ever time I've played at Warhammer World, so that was really, really fun as well.
What a place to start, to play something for the first time. We need to get that sorted, Jordan, somehow. But
yes.
I as I told you, you saw Dreadfleet. I'd never heard of it before until I saw it. You post it, and then I was like, pirates in Warhammer. Well, hello, I'm taking this on. And now there's a guy on eBay who keeps offering me. I've watched his scene. He keeps going down. I'm like, not yet, but if you're listening, another 10 quid, and maybe you've got me. That's all I'm saying. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I can't offer it at that level. I've tried, but if you just drop in another 10 quid, mate. You know me, I'm on there. You know who I am. It's quite obvious by the tag. So,
it's me,
Hamilton. Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's not many of us about, so Anyway, yes, but that's cool. What about Tay or Stuart? Have you played any Warhammer? Because you've any games? I know you've been busy though, so I doubt.
Like in my life or in the past?
No, in the past
weeks?
month. In your.
Oh no,
no.
I haven't played like any. I've only been playing tabletop games this is a tabletop game.
I know what you mean.
I mean, like,
games.
dice ones. This is a dice one too. I'm trying to make a joke and
A
it's not working.
tabletop role-playing game. I know what you mean.
But this is still kind of that. Like, look how we're doing it.
I know exactly.
We've made this a tabletop role playing game.
I mean,
I've been
Necromunda
playing
is-
the ones that have more shapes of dice. How about
Oh
that?
yeah. Okay, I get.
There
yeah.
you go.
Not just
I
sixes.
played
and...
You Awaken in a Strange Place yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Which is always a train wreck. Love it. And mostly like we're just recording podcast episodes before I escape again into the night.
As you do. And
As I
Stuart, I'm in your little Discord of your secret Discord of Warhammer. It's not a secret. You've been trying to organize a game. Are you actually going to get that game going?
I think the 1st of October is currently looking like the plan for a little 40k day. What that's going to look like at the moment. I've sort of got a Death Guard army, although they're the Grey Knights of Death Guard, not because they're Grey Knights, just because they're primed and not painted.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But I've also got the makings of my Wu-Tang themed Space Marine chapter
from your
which is miles away. But I'm sort of more excited about painting Wu-Tang Marines than I am about painting Death Guard at the moment. So
yellow and black is a lot cooler than sludge sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, sludge can get a bit sludgy after a while, but
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be my first playing of Warhammer against adults ever, probably.
Wow.
Because I've played against my son, and then we are going back to like 1994, 1995 when I last played. So
it's a big deal.
Hopefully, because as Hamilton has seen, the Warhammer Day has been planned and has collapsed many times.
Yeah.
So,
That is the way.
Yeah.
It is the way.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. We will be able to kill each other in person.
In a nice way.
I hope that happens for you.
Yeah.
I was in a Sigmar group a while. It'll take us months sometimes to like get people to show up at the same time to play a game.
The only way is really Warhammer clubs, I find, where there's 20 people or 40 people on a channel and at least 4 of them will turn up once a week. And that's probably the only way.
That was the club.
Oh, okay.
There just weren't enough of us. I think it was like a bit new and here.
There you go.
Iceland problems, man.
Iceland problems. Well, that's games. Okay, so then I've heard rumblings then from everyone of where they are. So let's dive into the gang's updates. I'll go back in the order then. I'll stick with the order that I've got. So Taylor.
Okay.
Taylor, I know you've been away.
actually have a little bit. Okay.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Okay. And always you can please send me photos of things as well so I can put them up on screen.
That's part of why they're not further than they are, because I've been like doing this situation where like I'm not fully assembling because I'm taking like exploded pictures.
Oh, okay.
Of, like the parts and then get it. So exciting.
I love it. That's very cool. Also, I imagine you're the sort of person who will paint in pieces. Do you paint them or do you put them all together to paint them?
For these, I actually usually assemble to paint.
Okay, yeah.
Which, like, if it was a Gundam, no.
Yeah. Oh, right.
But like this stuff, I usually simply because like I can't always visualize it. Because they're so tiny and they're so delicate and like the pieces are crazy.
Yeah.
Like I have this one finished. It's not on its platform, but TBD what I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
But here is
Mermaid Barbie.
It's nice. Mermaid Barbie, everyone, and I've of course I've borrowed a head from like some elves because better hair. See that hair?
That hair is epic. I love it. I can't
the
quite
lighting
see the
is
colors
not great,
this.
but
yeah.
Well, there's no color right now. We're doing a grayscale situation. You're okay.
Oh, it's just the lights coming through. I'm just because you got funky colored lights.
I've got too much crazy color going on, but this is an unpainted one, so not even primed.
Okay,
but fully cleaned. So if you were to look at this up close, there would be no mold lines.
Smooth as a Barbie, as they would say.
The smoothest Barbie. No, Barbie actually has some mold lines.
Oh, for crying out loud! Come on, Barbie.
But actually, maybe I should stop and just leave the mold lines.
You're gonna have to sculpt mold lines back onto that now.
Yes, get some green stuff and just put little mold lines back. Love
This
it.
is a dark moment for me, but and then the Iron Strider was the other one that I was working on.
Yeah, I
And
want to
so
see it.
it's in pieces right now because I'm magnetizing the guns.
Wow.
So that I can like
Such a loser.
switch out.
No, I'm joking. To everyone who does that, I totally.
No, I love it. It's my
I can't
favorite.
be bothered.
I'll show you the magnets. I took like a cool picture of
Let's
what
have a
the
look.
magnet looks like in my hand, and it's so tiny. It's like a crumb.
But they
It's,
do
like,
so
barely...
much, don't they?
It's a cool thing to do because then you don't have to pick weapons. You can always have whatever you want.
You can do that anyway. Just say it's whatever you want it to be. Imagination.
Now I can have them all. I can have them all, Stuart.
I know.
But like
have to paint them all, though.
We've got like a little baby vehicle part here.
Ooh.
Like this is where the
that's where the
pilot
sits. Yeah, we'll put photos up as well, so don't worry. If you send me photos,
this will look better, in the future. And we've got like some legs, fully formed legs.
Look at those chicken legs, amazing.
Nice.
Put some buffalo sauce
good
in
at
them.
this. You can tell that I do videos all the time.
Yeah, you're such a pro.
I'm really good at it. And then another leg, which looks the exact same. So, and then
we've all got such moody lighting. It's our own fault.
An
Do you know what I mean? I can't see
there
it.
They are.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Like a little bird.
Hey.
What's that? People are coming. Light them up. And then I've got the guns, but they are in the process of being magnetized, and that is super fun. And this is what I'm using. This is all of the magnets that I have right now together as friends.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's some big ones in there. A big one is about like the size of
like those little watch batteries.
They're so dang strong.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like I can't pull them apart. I have to use like a tool. But if you look, you will see the tiny magnets that I'm using on top of the big ones.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's tiddles. That's amazing.
That's actually like
do you have a little Dremel then? Are you dremeling them in with or not Dremel, little pin vise thing?
Sometimes you don't need to because of how small they are. You can just like use like we've got like a set of Gundam tools, and it's kind of like it's just like you can use an X-Acto even.
Oh, okay.
Just to like dig a tiny hole.
A little hole, yeah.
I do have a Dremel, but I would be way too afraid to do it on these. Yeah. Because I feel like the Dremels are super scary, and like you can get the jewelry Dremel, I think it is.
Well, I know that Pete the Wargamer, who's the one who does all the proper
there probably is a special Dremel.
He uses a little one that's like a drill, but you twist it, and I think he calls
it a
hand
drill.
Hand drill.
Okay,
yeah.
I saw those at the store and I thought about it, but because of how tiny these magnets are, like I don't even get to use the huge ones. Like that never comes up. That's only for like we have the Space Marines, and like when you want to like change the top of the spaceship or something, like you can maybe use a big one for that. But I think we really only just use the medium. But like those little teeny tiny ones are what I'll be using for this.
Yeah.
And I bought myself a new tool.
That is so epic.
It's so ridiculous.
Is that a Games Workshop thing? Is that one with all the extra
Citadel?
Bits? It is Citadel one, yeah. Because I've got the little like shitty one. Like comparatively,
well, it has that. It's like got the like.
But you've got like that's got everything.
This is the only one they had because we have the other one where you just hold it.
Yeah,
this even less. It's like not a fancy one.
It just
like
reminds me of a Cluedo piece, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But like, I have one of these for soldering, but it's like metal and it grabs too hard.
Oh wow!
But this is a fancy. I like this a lot, and you can like push it in, and it does it moves, and it comes out, comes apart. But that was holding the pieces of the Iron Strider for like a bit while it dried. And I think it's gonna make painting a lot easier because I'm always like trying to.
Yeah, no, I find that's why I got one, because it's so much easier to paint with them in there. But it's just yeah.
And basically, like, if I don't finish in time, which at this rate, then I'll just have like these guys
Yeah, yeah,
for
you're
the
seamless.
rest.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's fine.
you know, don't worry about it. But I am gonna go to the thrift shop and see if I can find like a crappy old Barbie house.
Yes, you were saying that. You haven't found
that
one
I can
yet.
like use as a terrain.
I love it.
Just because, dang, that sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
But I'm gonna have to dirt it up and put like mortar rounds in the walls and you know.
I've got some terrain. I did buy some terrain on eBay, some STL based terrain. I need to put it together. Yeah. So I will put some pictures of what it looks like. It's like just like a mechanicum industrial thing that can go anywhere. So I've got that. I'm just gonna literally paint it black, dry brush it silver, and then chuck rust over it. That's basically all I'm going to do. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because that's all you really do need to do. I've got some dirty down grime as well as so I've got that, and I can just put that all over it, and I'm sure
you can just leave it outside for a couple weeks, and it'll be like.
Yeah. So you've done painting and modeling. Have you got any naming? Have you got any names?
Everybody's a Barbie. So that was Mermaid Barbie,
and that's it. Yeah.
And the Iron Strider is going to be the Ferrari.
Yeah.
I feel like when I was watching the Barbie movie, I feel like they had other stuff, but like I had the Ferrari as a kid.
And I think that's the classic. It's the Miami house, isn't it? Ferrari.
Well, because somebody asked me, they were like, "Is it the Lambo?" And I was like, "What? The Lambo?" And before anybody gets nervous, don't worry, they will not be using it as a real vehicle. Because they are Ashway Snowmads, and they're not allowed to have a car.
It's fine.
So this is a flavor vehicle only.
It's a flavor vehicle. Yeah,
so
it's just for rolling up. It's just for rolling up in.
About 98% of what I'm going to be doing is for flavor, because that's how I have fun.
And I think as we'll find, a lot of us are doing. I'm probably doing the same.
So nobody will get a bonus from the Ferrari. Don't worry.
Okay.
Hand to glob.
No points, I imagine, yet either. No points have been put to things.
No, because I don't actually think it's going to be hard to assign points to mine as I thought it might be initially. Because realistically, like I'm just gonna have like I'm gonna use the nomads.
Yeah.
So like that's pretty stock.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing too much insane stuff to them. Like they will be using additional weapons. I did buy like the starter weapons for, you know, a different gang because that's what there was.
A better gang.
Debatable, but I mean when you see those weapons, you're gonna be like, how did they get those? They killed those guys.
Simple as that.
So like a better gang maybe in some ways, but not in the ways that matter.
Yep.
But like, so they'll have stuff that isn't
gear,
really
no
inherently theirs, but it's kind of like they would have had these weapons if the other stuff had been in stock.
Yeah.
So realistically, like it'll just stat the way it would have statted anyway.
I get you.
And we don't have to stat the Iron Strider because
fine.
it's just for aesthetics. So I think actually mine will be very easy. Who knows? Now that I know that there's rats, I kind of regret what I've done. But just kidding. But like, there are a lot of really good creatures.
There are.
So
I do like the weird manta ray face hugger things. I think they're the most violent. I don't know what they're called. The
Ripperjacks, right?
Ripperjack. That's it. Yeah.
There's just so many pieces. There's so many things. So I might have to add the bug mounts just for fun.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to have that. So
no, that's fine. You do it.
they're allowed to have that. I don't know how that doesn't count as a vehicle, but I'm sure I'll find out.
It's because it's the whole like June thing, so they can ride. They're allowed to ride on the worm thing. So
Shai Halud was a vehicle. That's where I'm at. And oh my god, I left out the biggest problem that I had. Okay, this is the last thing. So I went to buy the Ferrari stickers on eBay.
I sent you that link.
And they're not for Iceland.
What?
They won't ship here.
Oh, I'll buy them for you. Tell me, and I'll send them to you.
So the link that you had, like Hamilton found the perfect size, the perfect scale Ferrari stickers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need those.
All right, I'll
like,
get them.
They were like, won't ship to Iceland, and I was like, please, they're $2.
No, I'll buy. Look, don't worry, I'll buy them and I'll send them to you. Just give me your address and I'll
see you in October.
Oh yeah, I'll see you in October. I'll give it to you then. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
cool.
But like, I have to go all the way to England to get the Ferrari stickers. Hopefully they ship there. Maybe
I mean, that's
they
not
don't.
the only thing you're doing, but I get it.
That's the only reason.
That's the only reason
Also,
you're going
maybe
to MCM.
maybe Comic-Con.
Yeah, but it's great. Don't worry about it.
It's not really for that. It's for the
No,
stickers.
It's for the fucking stickers. Yeah.
What a dumb thing. And you know what? I actually then I went to Japan and I scoured the Gundam
Yeah, I thought
shops.
you might be able to find that. Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if they'll have, and of course they were like, no, we don't have Ferrari stickers. We have Gundam stickers, which aren't Ferrari. It turns out that in the future, Ferrari doesn't stick around to make pilotable mechs. Which
Well, I think
me.
that's a shame, and I think that's the future I don't want to be a part of. So I'm with you on that.
So I'm out, but I can't play anymore.
That's it. I'm done.
I'm done. I give up.
Okay, well then, I mean, there's somewhere that's moving in the right direction.
I'm definitely somewhere. I've got Mermaid Barbie, who's
And that's more
arguably the
than
most important. She's built.
Yeah. That's the list.
And then the other ones are in an array of who has had what scraped.
That's good.
And now I realize I should have actually left the
Them
mold
on.
lines on as a joke. But
Next time. So Stuart, with your corridor and your printing.
I'm gonna put a screenshot in the Discord chat so everyone can see what I attempted to do this weekend. So I started printing. I bought all my STLs now. Really happy. I've got loads of cool miniatures. So I set up this plate to print, and the idea is it's got this great big brute. There's a little dwarf guy who sits on his back with a flamethrower, a couple of bomb delivery rats, couple of Necromunda bases, and a big weird flamethrower exhaust pipe.
Love it.
Clean on my printer, set it going. Now it's impossible for me to discuss my progress without incorporating a little bit of mishap chat within the wider world of progress. There is a quite heavy subtext of mishap that runs along with this. So that was what I was hoping to be able to show you.
Looks cool.
Big hulking brute, little fella on his back with a flamethrower, couple of bomb delivery rats.
Beautiful. I love that.
I can show you, and I have taken some. I'll refrain from saying better photos because the photos that I've taken are appalling. But I'll see if you can see.
Oh,
that little bomb delivery bastard! There he is.
Yeah.
A little bomb with his big bomb. He is printed. I'm happy. Not only is he printed, look at his delicate little tail.
Oh, so cute.
Even there that is printed lovely. Not only that. Not only do I have one bomb delivery rat for you, I have bomb delivery rat number 2 with a candle on his head.
Love it. I love it. So cute.
And also an even more elaborate tail with an extra twist because he's fancy. He's got a candle on his head. He's got a more elaborate tail. I also have
swanky rat.
I want to change what I'm doing.
I also have a flamethrower, which will sit on top of a brute.
Love it.
These are all things that I'm very happy with. Now, speaking of brutes, let's talk about this big guy here. Look at that platform on his back. He's looking great. He looks great. Stuart, move your hands. We can't.
What's wrong with why you're not showing me the other side?
Because one of his arms printed out. Hang on, I can't move it. Look at his other arm there.
No.
So there was a printing mishap, which has led him to have an arm that's half arm, half serving tray. He should be swinging double axes, looking incredibly brutish. Yeah. So he's going to get reprinted. But I'm actually really happy with the model.
Yeah,
I think it's a really nice model. I'm really looking forward to painting it. He'll have a little guy on his back.
That's cool. I like the idea of it. It's really cool. I love those corridor.
He could be holding a rat.
He could, but these are strong, independent rats, and they don't need to be held by no big brute. And I think essentially what's happened is I've been in Florida for 3 weeks, and as I said, the temperatures were 38 degrees, which is objectively hot. There's no subjectivity about that. It's objectively hot, and I think the heat in Florida has affected the resin, because the resin itself is quite it's heat
psychically linked to yourself.
Easily heat dependent, and because I was in Florida for 3 weeks in that extreme heat, that has affected the efficacy of my 3D printing and my resin.
It makes all the scientific sense.
Yeah, it's in no way related to any kind of user error or failings of me as a hobbyist 3D printer. It certainly doesn't give fuel to the fires of argument of the anti 3D printers, who will say that, oh no, the proper models are better and the 3D minted. It's not 3D printing is not the future and everything. Certainly that's not true. It's purely down to Florida heat waves and the impact that has had on my resin. And I'm sure if you wanted to, anyone can. If you want to be pernickety, you could probably criticize and find some holes, but I don't think anyone needs to do that. I think we should all just we can leave it. But that's where I am in terms of models. I'm actually, do you know what, I'm happier now than I was maybe 2 hours ago, because I've cured these minis, and now I've had a look at the brute despite his tray arm. I'm really happy with the mini, and the rats look great.
They do look
so that's what I've got. Now I've also got some progress when it comes to the lore, because I felt I was a bit light on lore on the last video, so I've had a little think about it. Now I've decided to double down on the Catholicism. I've got a name for my gang now. They're called the C9 gang. And there's two reasons for that, because C9 sort of sounds like an explosive.
It definitely does.
These are bomb and flamethrower type guys. And now it's time for religious education with Mr. Bullock. The C9 is the name given to the inner circle of cardinals who surround the Pope.
Really?
So yeah, really, and that is truth. That is true. That is true, Taylor. So I've decided to call my gang the C9, and I've also come up with a naming structure. A naming structure for my gang members. Now, these names are not set in stone. I haven't decided whether I might try and Espanol the second part of the names up a little bit, because I'm still thinking about having a Catholicism / Lucha Libre theme. Because I think it works well. So what I've done, I've decided that all of my gang members will be named after a pope, but then will be given a wrestling style epithet.
I love it.
These are just
workshops. These are workshops.
This is just workshop names. So we have Pius the Eruptor. Ooh.
Ooh.
Eleftherios the Destroyer. Eleftherios is a great pope's name.
That's a great name.
Urban the Renewer.
Love it.
Little pun there for those people that are involved in town planning, for example. Lucius the Crusher, Caius the Incredible, Simplicius the Immolator. Simplicius.
Bloody hell.
Vigilus the Beast. And I'm trying to decide whether I should include some of the more mundane pope names. Can you go from Vigilus the Beast to, for example, John the Angry?
But I like if you have one of them. Do you know what I mean? You need to have one of them.
You have to have one.
And the rats are going to be, and that'll be the big bruising guy. The rats are going to have I'm going to give the rats the most ridiculous, serious. I mean, if I think this feels like, I think that's probably Simplicius the Immolator with his candle head. And it's ironic because he's not Simplicity at all. He's very, very fancy indeed. So that is where I am, both in terms of models, mishaps, and some elaboration on the lore of my gang.
I love it. That's really good. Well, well done. I feel like that deserves a clap. That was really good. I like it.
I agree.
I really like that. I like the naming structure. I love a good Necromunda naming structure. It's all part of the fun.
I love the rats.
Yeah. Have you got any lore for where they've come from yet, or is that still yet to be developed? Their sort of backstory, is that still
yet to be developed? I think there'll be some shrouding in mystery. I think that they'll all be perhaps living double lives. Oh, maybe they're not even a gang. Maybe they're a load of upper class people that are masking up to cosplay because they're it's like Fight Club. They all just work in an office
Yeah.
And then they're bored of the humdrum everyday life, so they gang up and go and murder Barbies.
Well, that's poor Barbies. But there's
in the future, it's going to get even weirder than it is now.
There's a thing in Necromunda, there's this thing called Brat Gang, which is the rich upper elite used to like use all their high-tech gear and go down on and join the gangs to be like, just not be very nice. But I like it more that they're just like boring accountants in the administration. Maybe they're not even going out to fight. They're just going out to pretend to be gangs. Then they get caught up, a little bit.
It's Halloween.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
What should we dress up as this year?
Everyone just assumes they're a gang, and they're like, "Fuck, this is not what we're here for."
What? That would be a great movie.
Yeah, they just ended up somehow they pressed the elevator button from the spire, and they instead of pressing 1111, they went to 1011 or something like that, which meant they were in the underhive, and then they get out, and then they've never been able to get back up because the lift never goes up, and that's it. They're just stuck down there forever. Okay, that's very cool. I like it. So yeah, no points yet, I imagine, but you've had them. No, but yours is going to be simple as well because you're actually making another very out of a book gang.
Yeah,
for believing that we would get there this early.
Well, no, I've got the question on the list. I've not done anything. I don't know. You might be the sort of person that loves a good bit of accounting, and before you do everything, you've counted it all up. I don't know. That's what you all strike me as. Okay, well, that's very cool. All right, so Jordan, I've seen some pictures, but yeah, how have you been getting on? Painting, modeling, printing, etc.
Yeah, so I've not done any painting or really any modeling just yet, but I have assembled a gang. So I had some pre-existing Necromunda guys that I was already going to bring in. So some of these Ogryns that I'm doing for my Abhuman Rebellion is what I called it last time, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll come back around to that in a minute.
Okay.
But this Abhuman Rebellion, taking a load of the different sort of mutants, those different types of humans that exist in the Imperium, and they're trying to find a place to call their own. They're trying to found their own sort of homeland, if you like. So I've got Ogryns at the centerpiece, but I wanted to get some other Abhumans from 40k history. So I'd gone back and I've actually now acquired 2 of the old Rogue Trader Minotaurs that they did. So back in the late 80s, a couple of Minotaurs. Fantastic. Again, you can put the pictures up.
Well,
because I've buried them. They're buried in one of these boxes because I put everyone into a little tray and put them to one side, and now I'm not sure where I've put them, but they will be back. I'll get them out. Don't worry.
You haven't lost them completely.
I
saw them turn up in your tour around the tower, so I'm sure I saw them.
Yeah, they probably were. Yeah, they might
just
have been.
Rewatch that
around.
video, and you'll find them.
Yeah. Necromunda, I've spent quite a lot of time putting that terrain together. I've got a really fun board now, and I've got a couple of gangs already assembled. Not painted, because that's the thing that I fear the most, but I'm currently working on a new Ogryns gang as part of a Tale of Four Gangers over on the Hazard Stripes channel, so I'm really looking forward to getting some more play out of my Necromunda collection. So I've got these 2 Minotaurs. They're going to be the overboss and the underboss of the Ogryn gang. And then I've also got a couple of the Ogryns themselves. And then I've got the Beastman Bounty Hunter. So Gore Halfhorn is the model, but that's not what he's going to be called. I'm going to give him his own name. And then I've also got the Rattling Chef, the Slopper. So those are the ones I've got at the moment. I've also, I think I mentioned last time, that I've got a Zerka, one of the massive, stimmed up sort of on roids, the Goliath guys that are just enormous, absolutely massive. But the miniature, which is pretty cool, has got a really bad, or at least I'm not that keen on the face, the actual head of the model. So I'm going to put a different head on it.
Oh, cool.
Which part of me is tempted to look at something that's very small and kind of like, so it's almost like Thrud the Barbarian, if you're familiar with him. So he's like a huge, totally buff guy with just a tiny, tiny little pea head.
I love it.
Which I thought would be quite funny.
I like that.
But then, so that's the gang. They're all going to be these Abhuman guys. I had thought about them in terms of being a rebellion.
Yeah.
And then I put them all into this little box, this little takeout tray that, like clean little plastic container, to move them around. And then it really reminded me of the painting of Washington crossing the Delaware, if you're familiar with that, where he's stood on top of the boat and they've got everybody in the boat and they're all sort of sailing across. And it's this really noble and sort of heroic image. It looks amazing. And then that sort of started a train of thought that kind of changed my thinking from rebellion to revolution and sort of going more in that direction, I think. So from a lore perspective or a naming conventions perspective, I guess, whilst I was originally thinking I would lean into almost a Greek sort of naming convention because it's Minotaurs, and I thought, okay, I'll go for like Asterion, which is I think the name of the Minotaur from the Labyrinth, and some cool names like that. Some of the names of like Greek giants, which I thought would be quite cool for Ogryns. That does still appeal to me.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking, well, if they're going to be Abhuman revolutionaries, let's take some revolutionary names and use some of the sort of American Revolution names. So if the Minotaur overboss is called like Georgie for obvious reasons, and then the underboss is called Franklin.
Yeah.
One of the Ogryns might be called Laffy for Lafayette.
Yeah. Or
Thomason.
Call him Galleries. That's a very French specific joke. If anyone's been to Gallery Lafayette, sorry. That's all.
And then, because I wanted to be playful, I wanted to take some of those names and be inspired by those names, but not just give them the names as well. So, Hooligan, I think, so almost like hooligan, but like contracting the Hercules Mulligan into a single name, which I thought might be quite fun.
That's cool.
The Zerker, I just quite like the name Baltimore for that guy, just because it's a fun name.
Yeah.
And then the Beastman Bounty Hunter, I thought would be Reverend.
I don't know that. I don't know the reference.
Paul
Revere.
Oh, Paul Revere. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. Sorry. I was thinking Reverend. Who's the Reverend? Sorry, that's why I was like, because you said Revere and I thought you were trying to split that up, and I was like, okay,
I'm butchering names out here.
Exactly.
I'm just really messing with stuff.
So you didn't take my Benlin Frank Jam because that was the best name I think I've ever come up with in my life. I want to use that in everything. I think I even might change my name to Benlin Frank Jam.
I mean, that is funny. Yeah, that is very good. Yeah, I mean, well, you're already there, Hamilton. You can join the gang because you're pretty close, right?
I mean, I'm already one of the founding fathers, basically. So,
and then the Rattling Chef, the final name was going to be Rosty, I thought.
Okay.
Which is for Betty Ross. Betsy Ross.
Yeah, who did who sewed the flag.
Yeah. So really, I've just very maybe lazily is the word.
Wasn't she the Hulk's girlfriend as well? Wasn't she called Betty Ross?
Because she's Thunderbolt Ross's daughter, isn't she?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So that's where I am at the moment. So they're revolutionaries. They're banding together. They want to fight off the evils of this imperium that is forcing this certain way of life on them. So they're sort of striking out on their own, whether that's out in the Ash Waste or in the Underhive. But they're claiming some land. They're having a tea party and they're gonna like defend it. Basically, is the idea.
I really like it. I really love that. I love the naming structure as well. I think that's really fun. There's a lot to go with. The only reason I know all of my 95% of my American independence lore.
I was going to say, like, you're doing pretty good.
Well, it comes from, I did do like 70, 50s, 900s at school, but that only gave me the 5%. The 95% comes from the Day of the Tentacle game. So that is how I know Betty Ross, because she's upstairs sewing the flag, and you change the name you make it the tentacle shape because you get the circle because it's the tentacles. And then also you meet Washington, Jefferson, all like in the game. So that's how I know. And Benjamin Franklin's outside trying to clean the car.
Doing the key and the lightning.
I mean, I can't claim to be any kind of scholar of revolutionary history. So I'm purely going off of West Wing and National Treasure.
Oh yeah, West Wing, as
basically.
Well,
That's where I'm getting names from.
I was sitting over here like, why do they know all this?
I used to know, because I did it at school, and I do remember that there was something clever the English did by walking across from Canada over the frozen Great Lakes. That's something I remember. I don't remember who it was. I just remember that was a cool idea.
Back when that was possible, before we absolutely roasted Earth.
Wreck the planet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no more of that.
Maybe we should move on from that bad story of what we've done to our world. That's really cool though, but no points yet, or anything like that.
No, I've been looking at the actual structure of the Ogryn gang and where you have the overboss and the underboss and gangers. There are Lobo slaves, which are the kind of lower level guys who have been roboticized. Not sure how many of those I'll be able to fit into the gang, especially with a couple of hangers on like my beast man and my the chef. So I need to work out how, because I think they're quite expensive, because obviously the Ogryns are quite big, chunky chaps. So I probably can't get all of the miniatures that I have in my collection into the game.
What I'm going to accept is like you come to the table to actually each table, but I've got way too many models as well. But I think if you want to swap out people between different games, I think we can just treat it like you've got a bigger gang to play with, but you take the number for this encounter. Do you see what I mean? That's how I think we'll play it. So it's better to have more, because then you can and if some of them get killed or injured or something like that, then you've got some backup on the day, rather than like, oh bugger, what am I gonna do, sort of thing, after like getting completely ruined, or something, maybe, which probably will happen to me in my first game when I've like got none left or something. So yeah, but cool.
Right.
Okay, cool, awesome. I'm loving everyone's. So anyone want to ask me a question?
Tell us what you've been doing, Hamilton. How's your gang coming along?
How's the gang coming along? Well, as I said, I think I've had a lot of fun, and I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models. So I've put them all together. They are primed. One of them is finally finished painting.
Ooh.
So now I had one that was half painted last time, so that's the one that's finished painted. So you can't really take too much credit for that. But also, because I've been out and about and around in the world, I've had a lot of time that's been short spans of time to do things. So modeling's been perfect sort of outlet for me. And so yeah, I think I need to talk about the narrative first and how it sort of progressed, to then explain the models, because that's sort of all very interlinked. So the first model I had last time was this character, which at the time I called Drax Van Ghoul, I think was the name I had for them at the time. Don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it a bit better in that light. A lot of hazard stripes. Duh. He said the name. I'll do the GIF from.
Everybody gets like a little light bulb, like.
Everyone just goes yellow and black, just like stripes across them. But I looked at it and I thought, some people like mentioned it looked very Final Fantasy, and I was like, it does look kind of Final Fantasy, and it is very anime style because of the sort of oversized sword, and it's very over the top. And I then just wanted to do some rats because I thought that would be cool, and I saw the vermin, the storm vermin, what they're called, storm fiends.
Yeah, storm fiends. Yeah,
that's
right.
it. And when I saw a storm fiend that had hands which were Gatling guns, well, then I was like, it's Barrett from Final Fantasy VII, who's got a Gatling gun hand. So I was like, Barrett, it's just happening. This is just, magic is happening in front of me. There can't be any more. So this is actually on the base of a Necron legs. So there's Necron legs, and then he's sort of like, I don't know if you can see this. I'll put pictures up. I'll send some in the thing.
It.
But yeah,
it looks amazing. It's shrouded in darkness there, which I think is quite appropriate. But
it is.
Does
well, they're
all
primed black because I am so lazy. I just prime things black so that if I miss it, it's just in shadow. It doesn't matter. And also, I like to put things together so that if I can't get to them, at least it just looks in shadow. But yeah, I might even try some Zenithal highlight painting on these. I've not actually done that before, so I'm going to try that maybe. But so I did that, and I was like,
cool, like resources about it.
Exactly, yeah. Everyone keeps touting about how good it is, and I've just watched Ninjon's video about Smash Chop, which looks quite fun. So maybe we'll do that. But
so Smash Chop, is that a new?
Yeah,
like,
it's better than Slap. It's better than Slap Chop. It's like
better than Slap Chop.
I know. What you do is you do your base black color like prime, then you zenithal it, and then you take 2 opposing diametric colors and just spray them randomly around. And then you paint on top of that, and if you miss bits, you've just got randomly colored shadows and highlights. So you've got a bit of red in your highlight, or a bit of orange and a blue, which is what I do when I do like Photoshop images for like architecture. I always do like shadowing, highlighting, and then I also like put blues on the shadows and put warms on the light just to light them up. So it's kind of the same as that. So it's like another layer on top of the slap chop, but it's just, it calls it Smash Chop because you're smashing colors at things. So
I like the sound of that, but that's where I want to leave it. I don't want to then do any more after that.
Look quite good,
because that's
like
a lot of paint for me. That's like 3 or 4 paints. That's way more than I invest normally. So
I think I've
Gordon's
got about
whoa.
Yeah, it's very fair.
Back up.
I mean, I paint way too many colors. I can't help myself. I've just got too many boxes.
I love colors.
Me too.
But I can only use pink.
Surprise, surprise! By the room that I'm in. But so as I said, I got this Final Fantasy theme. As I was like Barat, I thought, well, this looks a bit like Yuffie, if you know Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII, who has the spinning star. So I was like, okay, this is now a gender swapped Yuffie Zaragul, to make it a little bit like closer. So this is Yuffie, and then you've got Barat, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do Final Fantasy VII, you've got to have a big fucking sword, right? Like it's literally got to be. So
these are the rules.
I think this is the biggest damn sword I've ever made in my life. And this is Marak, which is actually a creation for Cloud. So that sort of thing. So this is Marak, because I'm just trying to like keep the sort of Transylvanian vampire vibe a little bit with it. So there's a bit of
I like it so much.
Yeah, so that's that. And then literally I've just gone on a spree. I'm like, what are all the characters from Final Fantasy VII and how can I make them? So I've then got Red 13, who's my little who started off as, he's got a bit of Gene Stealer stuff on there. He's also built from a direwolf base and then added some extra like mechanical bits on there. And then I've got Tifa, who was a big bruiser. So I've just made them tank girl, basically. So it's a very small person with a power fist and a gun I built out of just bits, basically. And then I've got Aerith, but it's called Marith because she's like dark. And she's basically got a huge gun and a sword and wings, and has got like a death shroud from like a death maiden from Peace.
Oh,
she's cool because she spoiler alert, doesn't survive Final Fantasy VII. And then to do the more gender swap, I thought, well, I've got a gender swap Yuffie, I've got a gender swap Sephi, who is our Sephiroth, who's also got a rat tail and a huge and then some warp guns.
Wait, what kind of rat? A real
rat tail. Like she's got the tail off the rat that I had there. So I was
like, hold up, there's so many kinds.
No, yeah, but she's got big hair. It's like Sephiroth, and she's got a sabery. It's not quite a katana, but it's a sabery like thing. So I thought that would work.
God.
And then the actual gang leader is none of these people, because I thought there's a character that's always in all Final Fantasies called Sid, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh my gosh, I am Sid from Toy Story, aren't I? Yeah. So I thought, well, the leader has to be Sid. So they're a bit Sid from Toy Story, and they're a bit Sid from Sid, but they're called Sidrek Tantalus, who's got these Gene Stealer things coming out of here, and they got a cool hairstyle on top of them. You can't really see it. There'll be pictures, but yeah. And that's them all. I've finished now. That's all of them. I'm done.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, they're all basically just what I took as an inspiration was like, I've got a theme, I've stuck with the theme, I've named them, but how the fuck does this how the hell does this come together? You know, like how does this? And so I tried to write a trailer, as I said in our Discord, and it turned into like a 3-page thing, which I will try and distill very quickly as some lore. Because I felt last time I had this like wishy-washy idea, they're from Hive Mortis, blah, 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 blah. But then when I got the Final Fantasy thing, I started going down an eco-terrorist thing, because that's how they start in that. And I thought maybe that could be really cool. But then I thought, well, let's take that a bit further, because that's not enough. Because eco-terrorism, like Necromunda's already fucked. There's no eco to survive, to save. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing left. And I then came up with this idea maybe of like a hidden energy source, maybe from the ancient. And I was like, nah, let's leave that. I got out of that. And then I went back to Final Fantasy, read about that. And I don't know if you know your Final Fantasy VII lore, but there's an evil professor in it called Professor Hojo, right? He's the guy who's using all this stuff to make all these, using the energy of the earth to create characters. So I was like, well, perfect. This is who my originator is, my progenitor. So I've got this character. He then turns into... when he transforms in the game, he becomes Heleticus, Hojo Heleticus, which I was like, well, that's a 40k name done. So the ex-Magos Heleticus, who worked under a famous one in the story of Necromunda, who did some gene stealery stuff in another hive world, who got caught. This Heleticus snuck out the back door as the Imperium was coming and ran to the next nearest hive world, which was Hive Mortis. Now, Hive Mortis was infected by a plague, which was like a bloodthirst. I'm changing it up a bit to be a bloodthirster plague, so this is where the vampires come in. And the plague was sort of satiated. There's still quarantined areas, but because there's so many, dead bodies there, that the main industry of this hive is now corpses. They have, they make corpse starch, which is what people eat. They also make fungal farms to make toxins. And there's also people, using bits and pieces of people to upgrade themselves as well. And I've got this idea that Heleticus, though, he's an entrepreneurial type. He's on the edgy side of the Mechanicum as a Magos, and he sees this as well. Here's a load of parts to play with. I've got some gene stealery stuff still left over from my time working with the other guy, with the ex-genius misunderstood Magos that the Mechanicum don't understand. I'm going to continue his work, but I'm going to do it better. And goes there, sets up shop in a little old warp reactor that's kind of been disabandoned, and starts just working for a couple of has a day job of like fixing up servitors. That's what he does. He's kind of gone in under a different name, changed his name. No one knows who he is. I'm just an ensign. I'm just a very low tech priest. I'm not Magos, this person. But out the back door, he's selling, you got a ganger that needs fixing up, bring him in. I'll fix them up for you. You want a bit of an upgrade? I can give you a little bit of an upgrade here. I can do a bit of this. And that's paying his way. But he's not getting paid in creds. He's getting paid in the good body bits, warp tainted skin, a bit of Xenos pieces found in Hive Skull, a bit of orc body pits, a bit of like things to just, and they turn a blind eye to it. The gangers help him and he helps them out. Starts looking into this. He thinks, well, can I have a bit of that plague? I just want to have a look at, if you got some of that quarantine stuff, give me some of that. I'll have a look at that. Realizes that the sort of bloodthirsting plague, when intersected with gene stealer stuff, the gene stealer stuff changes DNA to be other DNA, but the bloodthirster DNA is craving other flesh. So what they do is they have this symbiosis where when the bloodthirster son eats anything that becomes too gene stealer, and the gene stealer stuff grows because it wants to grow, and that feeds the bloodthirster. So these bloodthirsters don't need to eat other flesh, they eat themselves, but they need to eat so much food because it's eating away at their own body. But he's perfecting this through his experiments, that some gangers he sort of hires or pays them to be part of his experiments. And he's also thinking he wants to sort of build these ultimate sort of beings using this thing, covering on the work, bit of Frankenstein reviving bodies and sort of putting bits together. And he starts off with Yuffie, who's the first attempt. Very intelligent. The bloodthirsting's still a little bit bloodthirstery, not really much gene stealer in there, but he's perfecting the medicine. And then he builds quite a few until he gets to Sidrek. And Sidrek's the masterpiece, the one that just can... But it's so well done that they're in such a good symbiosis that all it's doing is the gene stealer stuff is growing and then being eaten. But with that, it's releasing all of that psychic energy that it comes with the gene stealer stuff, the Tyrannid stuff. So he's becoming this super powerful psyker, and he's not aware, Heleticus. He doesn't realize this. And slowly, what is a zombified Frankenstein creature gains sentience and realizes what's happening and tries to keep it all cool and sees what this Heleticus is doing to all these other subjects that he's creating, and decides to, with his power of the warp, make a hive mind and gives them all consciousness. And let's just say it don't go well for Heleticus. They rise up, and as they realize what the fuck this guy's been doing to them, he gets chucked in a warp reactor, let's just say, nice. That was there. And they realize, but Sidrek has a hunger because of this amount of power going on. He just needs to be fed. And like Heleticus has been feeding him constantly just all this stuff. And that's been paying, basically using all his money to keep this being fed. So he has an insatiable hunger, but he gets better at his mental abilities, can control his body, let things grow out. let things like he's got these tentacles that grow out, so he can handle like allowing some gene stealery parts to grow without it becoming overpowering. And then he realizes the way to satiate it really is eating warp tainted flesh, which doesn't go well because he gets more warps, he gets spoken to, he hears little whispers telling him that maybe the Imperium isn't so good, that actually his hunger is just an expression of the hunger of humanity, the endless capitalist cycle, the endless war. And his body is, as much as he wants to end the thirst that he has and the hunger inside him, he sees this as he is just a production of the evil in the world and the evil of the galaxy. And the only way to end it is to end it all. So his job is only way to satiate this hunger, he thinks, is to stop all things on the planet of Necromunda. And the warp has told him that out in the wastes, there is a machine that has been left there for him to go and collect. And this machine will help in his fight to destroy the Imperium and all of life that seeks to parasite on the world. So they're kind of eco-terrorists because they see they're sort of anti-capitalist, anti-hunger, but in themselves are also unsatiable zombie/vampire beings. So that is my story.
That's great.
That's it. That's where it is. So that's how they end up leaving Hive Mortis. And he gets so good. He's going to put himself in a little stasis box. And that's how he has to go into he's realized if you go in a box which is lined with lead, then you can slow down your metabolism so much that you can recuperate from the thirst like a vampire. Basically, that's it. So that's how he's going to go out into the waste. The other ones aren't as affected as him, so they don't have to eat as much. So they'll just eat what they find. But yeah, so that's the story. So I need to make a little coffin for him. Basically the point. So Sid, you might not fight unless he's been fed. So if you feed, so I'm going to make some rules that if in a game enough bodies are killed, like it's going to be a certain number, then Sid will turn up and you better be ready. Is what I'm getting at. So that's kind of my plan. So they will be all pretty middling stats, and I don't think you'll fight the rat. He's just there to look cool. But the others will probably be fighting there. But I kind of like to have this idea of a rule set that if I'm really winning or I've killed a lot of bodies or I can get them to him, like maybe I have to collect them and bring them back to his mod mini before like a certain time, then he can consume them. And if he consumes enough, then he will be able to come out of his coffin and start fighting.
Oh, I like the idea of almost, because if we're playing a few games, then having a couple of scenarios that are like specific to some of the gang stories could be really, really cool as well. So it's not just a generic, right, we're all in the same place and we're all fighting. It's actually like the story of this gang is being told by the events of this particular scenario.
I would love
that's
to
cool.
That's what I kind of would like that. So as I said, the sort of MacGuffin I've got is this. I should probably reach up and get it because I've modeled a bit of it as well. Is this night? So that's my MacGuffin for like why they want to go out into the wastes, and maybe that's why other people are out there. Maybe unfortunate Abhumans trying to find a nice home end up pitching a tent right by one of these. I don't know. And the nomads, they like scavenging stuff, so there's that. And then I don't know why the Halloween crowd have all ended up there, but maybe that's where they got really lost and they ended up. I know I'm conscious of time, so I did have an idea of maybe we could talk about like how we could come up with the narrative of the campaign, but maybe that's something we do next time. As in, maybe that's something we could like have a think about together, like separately, and like maybe chat and have a think about how we might set up those scenarios and build this campaign around everyone's sort of stories, because I can sort of see how some of them could intersect, but it would be, I think it'd be, if there's like particular stories you want to tell of your gangs or something like that through it. Like
in certain role-playing games, when you create your characters and you're encouraged to come up with the links to some other characters in the party, and that's always a fun little process, isn't it?
100%. That was going to be my fun. That was part of my fun little game idea as well. And I had some fun cards I was going to use that could help with that, as like add a bit of chaos in there. But as I said, I'm conscious of time, so maybe that's something we could do. Maybe that's what we'll do for our next update. So if we've got some updates of what we're doing, but maybe we'll have a little bit of extra time put to the side to just talk about our interconnectivity and how that campaign could be developed. So I think that could be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I can't wait to start painting.
Yeah, it is actually quite fun. Actually, I know Jordan's like, I don't get it. I don't get you.
Yeah, I'll skip that. I'll skip that session, and I'll turn up for the next one after that. No, I'm going to paint some guys. I'm going to put some paint on these guys. Don't worry. They're not going to be. They're not going to be just plastic and metal. There'll be a little bit of.
It's fine.
A little bit of pigment on them.
That's all right. I mean, so long as it's, as you said, 3 base coats.
Yeah.
Don't need to highlight. It's battle ready, not parade ready. You know, that's it.
Yeah. What's below battle ready?
Steady. Steady. Probably got to say goodbye now, but is there anything else anyone wanted to add quickly? I mean, if there's anything people want to like shout out as well, I should give you an opportunity to do that. So I'll start around in order. Taylor.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to my life partner for not vacuuming while this has been going on, and also helping me dig the scary little hole with a giant blade for these tiny magnets. Finding the magnets, because that actually was the most time intensive part of it.
Willem is a treasure, and so he deserves as much praise as he can get, to be honest. Yeah.
But he also like kind of had to do those things for me, because when we came back from Japan, I allowed him to bring home like huge Gundams, to the point where we had to like carry them on to the plane.
Oh my gosh, like teddy bears.
So the entire journey, which was like 3 flights,
yeah,
we were bringing Gundams on the. And I was like, when we get back, you have to help me do this.
But this is also the guy who bagged up how many dice for you at a con?
Hey,
don't talk about that. Was it 3,000 dice, or was it just 300 dice?
It was thousands.
Yeah. So Taylor at MCM last year had Willem, her life partner, in the background, bagging up, getting a D6, a D8, a D10, a D20 in a bag with some stickers.
Okay. You're making it like bigger than it was, Hamilton, because every year we go to London Comic-Con with the podcast, and our shtick. So if you see this anywhere else, they ripped it off. Looking out there into the world, some of you have already ripped it off. With my help, I sent the links, so it's partially my fault. But we have this phenomenal thing that we make. We have these like little holographic like Ziploc packets that are like this big, and we stuff them with stickers and like a QR code and a die. Like, we buy thousands of sparkly yellow dice, and we put that all together, and that's what we hand out at Comic-Con. So
come and see us. Come and see us end of October at MCM Comic-Con. We'll be there.
Yeah, Hamilton is I don't know if it's like a secret, but Hamilton will be there doing something exciting that might be a live play. I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
We don't know.
If you're into that kind of thing.
I don't know.
You can watch Hamilton do his thing.
Stuart, is there anything you want to shout out? Is there anything you
do you know what? I could hawk my my own endeavors, but do you know what I'm going to shout out? Everyone should watch The Bear on Disney Plus. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's so good.
That's my shout out. Everyone should watch The Bear on Disney Plus.
Oh my gosh,
I liked it so much. The second season, are you talking about?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole thing.
I'm only halfway through second season.
The cousin episode. I think it's like the penultimate episode. One of my favorite bits of TV ever. Just watch The Bear.
It really is. It really is so
beautiful.
Good. When I finished the second season, I liked it so much that I wrote an article about it on Medium.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I've not watched season 2 yet, but I don't know how you could say that there's a cousin episode, Stuart. Because is that not every single episode? Is just constantly saying the word cousin.
But there's a serious episode with him. He's just the best character.
Oh, I'm looking for it. It's just and for someone of my and potentially Taylor Jordan's age group, the music. I
don't know the shape of punk to come. Like,
That was well done, Hamilton. You really danced around that night.
I love you. You know I love you, Stuart. You know I love you. And I think I all of our age groups, the music is very much our generation's kind of music, I feel, which is kind of incrable. It's bringing me back to loads of songs.
It was so good. Every episode is just gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's
just
beautiful
so well
storytelling.
Yeah, totally. I'm down
really,
with that.
It's so good, and it just like constantly shocked me, like just watching how they worked together, and like even though there are some very toxic behaviors, they do so many things so gorgeously well. Like I don't know, I was just impressed by it. It made me think.
No, I did.
It.
What about you, Jordan? Anything you want to shout out? Any TV shows? anything? Oh, you've gone.
No,
Jordan, you froze on like an extremely suave pose. I'm gonna take
it is a very suave look, actually. I like it.
Okay, everybody do a pose, like Jordan.
Okay, that's it. We undid it.
Am I back?
Yeah, that's how we fix it. That's how you fix it. Is do the suave pose, and it comes back.
I captured it, and it's like it's actually like really.
That's terrifying, by the way, to hear that.
Oh,
it's not that. We'll put it.
You're gonna see it. Okay. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and you're gonna be like, "Well, that's
my new profile pic.
That's my new profile pic."
Okay, all right, that's not too bad.
It's like really good.
It's a good shot.
Yeah, Jordan started this recording by saying he hasn't done any modelling. Now he has. There we go.
There it is.
Stuart.
There it is.
I told everyone you had the puns. I knew you had the puns.
Nobody was ready for that.
Nope. So, Jordan, do you have anything you want to shout out? Be it yourself, be it anything.
Yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I can't be as generous as Stuart and shout out other people's creations. I've just not got it in me. So yeah, just there's Jordan Sorcery
Gotta watch it.
Channel stuff. We're doing some fun stuff. I've got a history of dwarf slayers coming up.
Oh, exciting!
From Warhammer, and I'm also working on some stuff around Judge Dredd and a little bit of stuff that might be relevant here to Necromunda as well. So yeah, hopefully there'll be some fun stuff that people might enjoy.
I'm a big Gotrek and Felix fan, so I'm enjoying this. I'm excited to hear the Slayers background. I'm rereading the first three again, so I've just got around to Demon Slayer again.
So you've got something on me there, Hamilton, because I've never read them. So until I started, so I've also got a GW Books Club where we're reading the original 17 GW books that were published in 89 to 91, and the first story is a Gotrek and Felix story.
Yeah,
and it's so good. And now I'm kicking myself for not having read these stories like all my life because
they are
incredible.
Yeah, no, I came to them. I did all the Eisenhorn and all the Inquisitor stuff, and then someone said you got to read these, and I thought, I'll give it a go, and I was like, oh my gosh, these are really good. These are really good stories.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So when is that coming out next week? Is that next week's one, or can you not say? Or do you not know?
Well, I mean, I don't know when this video is coming out, but yeah, Dwarf Slayers is my next video that's going to drop on the channel. So I imagine it'll already be out by the time this hits yours.
Unless I could do this in a day.
Yeah, I expect this to be in first thing tomorrow when this comes out, right?
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Okay, yeah, everyone should check out Jordan Sorcery. Obviously, everyone should check out Dice and Desire, obviously where Stuart's on, and everyone should check out Backwater Bastards because that's amazing as well. So I will do that for you. For me, I think I'm going to shout out is actually I really want to do some painting, but I don't want to do it alone. So I'm actually thinking of setting up a regular stream where I'm just going to be painting up these characters because I think that'll be kind of fun. And if people want to hang out with me, and I'm going to start building up that story that I've got pages and pages of. So if people want to come and chat and give me weird ideas, I'll be doing that on YouTube, and I'll put some times up. But I think I might start that in the next couple of weeks, and try and make that a regular thing because I quite enjoyed. I kind of miss doing it. And I've got to do a heck of a lot of painting, so it'd be nice to have company. so I'll be doing that as well. That's the only thing I'm going to shout out for now. Yeah, exactly. And then that's it. So all I've got to say is thank you everyone for being here again and for sharing your little hobby journeys with me, and we'll see you next time in the Underhive, I guess. So I think that's it to say, but so bye everyone.
Bye.